So, miners are still at it. Checking out the on-chain analytics, and it's showing that miners are progressively selling. But we haven't had the peak of miners actively selling the Bitcoin. What does that mean for Bitcoin? Well, it can only mean that if the miners are in the mood to sell, then we can only grant, by the logic of bids and asks, that Bitcoin should be continuing higher. Now, in the live stream earlier on today, we were talking about how the moves to the downside were engineered and are engineered to effectively keep price going higher. So we're going to be talking about that in a few moments. By the way, yeah, sorry about the timing. Daylight saving it kind of trips me out. See, I thought today was Friday. That's where my brain's at. But Ethereum. Man, this Denken upgrade hasn't really given us much. But we're going to look in the charts to see if what they could be preparing for is effectively another rally to the upside to take out the all-time high for Ethereum. It's not too far away. I'd say about 15, 16% away. So we're going to be diving into that in tonight's live stream. We're also going to look at where we are with... excuse me. I've had a long day. I really have. I've had a long day and bring the market to a close. So happy days. If you are new to the channel, this is not my usual routine of flavor. Come with a little bit of oomph and happiness and joy and leaving smiles on your face. Let's get with the chart. Here we go. So yeah, sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Kyle, what's good, man? What's good? Yeah, the last hour went by pretty quick. I know. All right, guys, let's get with the flavor, man. Let's have a conversation about what's been going on today. So, look, this is what's been discussed about this Ethereum Denken upgrade. We'll then get into some Bitcoin price action in a few moments. And I am going to discuss for the holders the next steps with regards to the 5 and 13 EMA on the daily time frame, because today would have been a good opportunity to, in principle, DCA by the logic of this 420 approach. Now, if you don't know what the 420 approach is, it's something that we call it the 420 approach because I just cannot be bothered to keep repeating 2020, 2040, but it's taken from Jesse Livermore's approach. Now, this was a stock trader from back in the day. They called him the Great Bear of Wall Street when he was shorting during the 1929 Wall Street crash. Banks were knocking at his door saying, please stop shorting the market, because they were just simply paying him, and that's how the business went. So we'll be diving into that very, very shortly. But this Ethereum thing, right, this is what I want to talk about. The upgrade for the long term is going to be serving people. Now, I think that the reason why Ethereum has pretty much not done much today is because people are thinking, like the last upgrade, there could be a little bit of downtime, there might be a bit of a problem, it could flop out, there could be complications, and people have been a little bit reluctant to get involved in Ethereum. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the steps to understand how it's going to benefit later on. So those of you who are involved in the game of staking, or if you're going to be buying and selling coins, the fact that this upgrade now is going to radically reduce costs, even though I know some of you have been saying, forget this upgrade, it's not even done anything, and everything's pretty much the same. I guess it's something that's going to be happening over a period of time, all right? So this is what they were talking about over here. In the article, it goes on to say that, who was it? A gentleman went on to say, I think it was for, Ruslan Lenka, chief of markets at crypto wallet provider hodler. He says he doesn't think this upgrade will significantly impact ETH's price in the short term, but as we may notice an increase in activity on the blockchain, at the same time, I expect ETH's price to grow in the long term because the upgrade will make ETH more available in the growing competition of new innovative layer 1 blockchain projects. So right now it's all about layer 2 because it's just scalable, it's got better security, and of course it's cheaper. So now Ethereum's going to come up right now and try and offer the same process. So let's see how it's going to fare. So we're going to have this little battle right now, okay? So with that being said, we're going to go into the main discussion. Of course, let me just stick onto one more thing with Ethereum. Some of you might have known about this, but the SEC is not really talking much about this Ethereum ETF. It's already begun. Not a good sign, Okay, we had this with Bitcoin, and I think people in cryptocurrency are going to be a little bit more savvy to this. All right. So once they start really talking about the idea of this Ethereum ETF, again, like I said, it doesn't really stipulate how they're going to do it. Okay, but it's saying here, Eric has stated that the ETH ETF approval by May deadline, the odds are down to 35%. Gets all the reasons they should approve it, but he believes that personally believe they should. But all the sign sources that were making us bullish 2.5 month out for a Bitcoin spot are not the same this time. I mean, what's he saying here? Okay, then. Well, anyway, the bigger picture is how they're going to do it, because Ethereum is proof of stake. So that means there's going to have to be a supply of Ethereum released. And we know Lido holds around 35% of Ethereum, and then Coinbase holds around 16, 17%, or even 19%. So what's going to happen there? I doubt Coinbase and Lido is going to be getting rid of their holdings. So I don't know. And I'm going to be reading into this even more, but I don't think that Ethereum is going to get the same traction that Bitcoin did. Because ultimately, if Bitcoin can do it, oh, it's just my watch telling me the time. If Bitcoin can do it, then happy days. That's all that matters. All right. Now, going into the bigger picture of things with regards to this Denken upgrade, okay, like we said just a second ago, things are going to be going and looking progressive for Ethereum. You've got to go over to DeFi to understand exactly what benefit that could lead to. Look what's going on. You see this here. This line, this line chart is just showing that DeFi is expanding right now. Money's going into DeFi. And this was starting to go. It went from 89 billion before this upgrade, which was back in March the 2nd. And then we started to witness it climb up, and it's getting pretty aggressive right now. So you could say that people are now going to start getting active on the DeFi platform. So whether you're doing staking with Ethereum, supposedly it should be now cheaper, but you're not going to get any cheaper than on Binance Smart Chain or Solana. Okay, so it's going to be very interesting how the distributions are going to be placed across this. So I'm going to be monitoring the DeFi game because I do like to stake, and I want to see exactly what Ethereum's going to do with it. We're going to see it happen overnight. Very unlikely, but it's just going to be one of them ones, ladies and gentlemen. We really need to see. Look, we get to this DeFi staking liquidity or total value locked at this high, which was effectively the all-time high back then. Look how quick we're getting up to it, man. I'm telling you, it's going to surpass that high very, very soon, in my opinion. Okay. Now, Bitcoin. So in the live stream today, ladies and gentlemen, we had this conversation about BTC. Okay. How this area, we were looking for Bitcoin to start climbing back up. And if you recall in the last couple of lives, how we were talking about red vector candles dropping down, and then we're waiting to see if the proof of the move is going to come into play. Shortly after the live, look what they did. They came all the way back up. Now, unfortunately, Ethereum didn't do that, but she did it kind of later on. We were looking for that, but just look at how the midpoints of the vector candle came into play. Just look at that. You can't complain about that in terms of drawdown, because even if you were to run your longs on the principle of price getting back up into the midpoint of the vector candle, this is where your drawdown was. Look, I mean, where is it? You went long at this point. Logic would say that that's your drawdown, okay? These two candles. But you wouldn't even be placing a stop inside of there. You would be outside of the structure. So you would have seen success from that move. And if you did take profits, happy days, because they came up and recovered the red vector candle near enough, or the wick. And now they're holding out at this 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. Okay? So we still got an imbalance up there that can be a point of interest for us later on. Back into Bitcoin. Bitcoin did pretty well. I'll say we've done pretty well today in terms of projections that we've done for the members. Okay, so we'll just go over and have a look at that for a second. So this one was, Euro's one today did really well. We anticipated the 109,389 region, and then Euro ended up clearing that point today. Well, they've actually gone and just swept it all the way up. Look, that was the projection right there. They cleared that, and then they went for some more. Happy days. They actually cleared the whole range, so that's really good right there. Gold at the same time. What happened with gold? Yep, gold went and cleared its projection today. That's good news. Let's have a look. Gold traders. There she is. Look at that. Came straight up to that point. This is what, oh no, go back. There we are. So that was our projection with gold. She came up towards that target and then rejection. That's why you've always got to take profits as price is moving up in your favor. That's what I like to do anyways. Okay. I think today the winner for me was oil. Oil gave us the flavor today. Marcus, I hope you ripped that one apart, man. Look at oil. Perfect. Sweet tap for the target. And then it's just reversed from that point. So really interesting to see how oil's come back up into the red vector candle. And one thing with oil, anyone that does trade oil, you will find that it's always recovering vector candles. And oil is one of the assets that we do actually trade, okay? Going into cryptocurrency, now, of course, Solana, she did the flavor today. We're waiting for Solana to try and break up to the upside, and Solana came through and just ripped the target, man. Look at that. Perfect play right there. Happy days. Cleared the 55, went all the way up to the 60 and some. So that's good news right there for that. And then we were waiting for Ethereum and Bitcoin, but there was a bit of a discussion regarding Ethereum, how she would be finding support inside of these range and look for V-shaped plays in this area, okay? This is what we were speaking about in the video, and that's exactly what Ethereum ended up doing. She actually did create the V-shaped play inside of that zone right there. So what you'll find sometimes with the way cryptocurrency moves, all right, is it's very, very sporadic, and they will always go to points of interest where volatility has been, where the imbalance have been served, and where people have been bidding and people want to offer out and sell, okay? So what you've got to really say to yourself is, how likely can I assume that price is going to go from one point to the next? Well, today's live stream was a perfect example with Ethereum. Okay, we were watching this area, the green vector candle. They came back into it, bounced away, bounced. And then look, you can see you've got these vector candle points right here that are starting to show promise of accumulation. All right. Bitcoin's moved up pretty well, even going into the actual ETFs, just having a look over there. Where's our values at? 203,000 right now. It's been updated, I believe. Yep, they're holding a lot of BTC, man. Latest purchases. We've had a few sell-offs right here. About 1,000 on ARK. Fidelity's been selling, but BlackRock did sell quite a significant amount not so long ago. So I don't think I'm going to see much of BlackRock selling. Let's just go over to the ETF itself, pull that up and have a look at where we are in that perspective. Here we go. So there we are. Look, $41, trading very, very well for the week. Going into the daily, you can see that they're filling a gap. They're moving away from that. That's good news. And look at the average volume, man. That is wild. That is actually wild. When we started watching this, it was only trading at around 5-6 million. Then it went to 10 million. Then it stayed around that point. Now it's at 31 million. That is huge, man. That is a lot of volume for an ETF. Like, let's just go, hold on a second. Let's just look at Meta for a second. Oh, more volume than Meta. Average daily volume's 19 million. Granted, it costs more, but I get you'd say, yeah, but that costs more. And that one, of course, would demand more, but it's already beaten Meta in terms of market cap, Bitcoin. It's beaten silver. You can only make the assumption that it's going to keep on going based on the rate that they're behaving at. Okay, cool. Back into Bitcoin. So, holders. This is where we are. So it seems as though that this daily candle is serving a purpose. The next daily candle would suggest that Bitcoin should be going higher. Okay? Looking at the liquidations. Got people trying to run shorts, man. Look at this. Wow. People are running shorts right now. 74,400. We've got liquidations at that point. Hold on a second. Look at this. 74,700, $2.9 billion worth of short liquidations. Just before that, at 74K, we've got 2.5 billion again. All right, so this is where understanding price comes into play. For a holder's perspective, you're good to the upside. Why? Because Bitcoin's daily candle has managed to surpass the previous day's candle. Logic would say that we are confirmed with this candle. The start of the next candle would need to stay within this range right here. It has to stay above the previous session's open and trade away from it, and happy days to the upside. That's what we'd be looking for. So let's understand the logic that Bitcoin could be going to 74K by the principle of market making. Are they building their positions below so that they can then offset them to the upside? All right. So let's go into the offers and the bids. What have we got? Here we go. Biggest order today. Still not there, man. It really frustrates me with this. We had some bids coming in. Here we go. 6.5 million as an order of 12 million. That 10 million isn't present today, man. It's not present anymore. I think it got pulled. But logic says it's inside of here. Where is it? We've had 8 million transacted at the 72,630 zone. And then, look, they're trying to transact on here. So that means that Bitcoin could be trading sideways for a little while. Now, what I'm understanding with this is only 3 million was transacted of the initial amount of 10, which could mean that they may have pulled that order now. So only 28% of it has been filled. And even though price has gone back into that point and hasn't taken it, we're back in that zone. It's still not transacting. So I'm making the assumption that that order right now is done because they're not transacting on it anymore. Okay? Looking at the top side where miners could be selling, we've got 9 million at 74, right? Going above that, you've got 74,300, got 1 million. Top side, got 21 million at 75. 75 seems to be the spot, okay? Now, looking at the logic of the miners, you can see, look, there's this peak right here, which is yet to be updated, right? Miners are selling, and now we're heading into the extreme of miners selling, but we're not at the extreme where we have been before, all right? It's when we start getting to this point right here where the miners could aggressively sell, and we haven't had that aggressive sell just yet, which means that once we do get an aggressive sell from the miners, that, in my opinion, is when Bitcoin will start to pull back pretty aggressively, because then the miners will be like, okay, we've now had the halving event, and now we're going to be expecting price to come back down. Let's start loading up that Bitcoin, okay? So until we do get a significant move by the miners, all right, the promise is that we are still going to be seeing Bitcoin climbing to the upside, okay? And that's what you've got to be paying attention to. Let's just understand, whoa, oh my God, log in, come on. Oh, here we go. Let's just check out where we are in terms of Bitcoin holders right now, okay? So financials, in and out of the money. Everyone's making money on Bitcoin. Everyone. 52.6 million addresses, 100% of them are all in money. So right now, Bitcoin is running the gravy train. Even the guys that went long at 70,000, between 70,000 and 71,000, okay? 314,000 addresses, okay? Look, man, look at where people are going long. It's madness, you know? But they're all in profit. Not so much at the 69 point, but they're all in profit. We go and have a look at Ethereum, which could be explaining as to why Ethereum might not be making a move right now. Go away. Here we go. So Ethereum holders, only up to 3,400. The rest of it is negative. Look, man, people are in drawdown still on Ethereum. Ethereum might have its heyday, ladies and gents. It could actually get to that point where it's all green. But Bitcoin's only done this because of the ETF. Just remember that. And Ethereum would follow suit if that was the case. Okay? Looking at XRP. Here's something interesting. Oh, no. It doesn't do XRP. What a joke. That is unfortunate. Let's go to the glass node for a second. Guys, we are heading, and we still not got there yet, but we are heading into what would appear to be a euphoric point. Right now, there is huge belief in Bitcoin, okay? We're not even in that altcoin market yet, so let's just check this out. Here we go. Where we at? Bull and bear, 98%. That's what that is. We're currently in a bullish phase, according to this. Look at that, man. Total market cap is just shooting up right now. It's phenomenal. Altcoins, well, it's Bitcoin season because that's what that is saying right there. We're not in altcoin season just yet. Look at the volatility right there. It's just wild volatility, more than what we've had back in October. My days, 2021. Look at that, man. Just crazy. Not volatility. That's the price, sorry. Yes, this is the price, it's the market cap, sorry. So we're getting itching towards the all-time high for the market cap. Nearly there, guys. Nearly there. Let's just go and have a look at what other coins are going off across the board. Not really much happening over there. Going to get into Bitcoin price in a second. And then I'll be taking some questions. Yeah, volume's relatively light. TKO for an altcoin. We'll look at some altcoins in a second, guys. I'd say it's been a very boring day. It's been a tricky day even trading for me today. what happened with my trade? Let me just show that to you guys today. So just an update on where we are with our balances. So here is, oh, I've got to do this again. Here we go. So we've had an 8K deck, $7,594 on our funded accounts. Took a loss on a demo account, but we managed to have a good little return on our funded accounts. So that served us today. Let's just move that. And let's just bring that here so we can see where we are with it. So, okay. So I only traded 4 accounts today and loaded and took advantage of some new accounts that I've got, starting to work on those right now. And today was a tricky day for me trading the S&P. There was a lot of imbalances. I was going to trade some options, but it just was very, very tricky. So 8K today, not bad. We've done a good day on our trading. So we're working up towards, we're nearly at the 70 mark, and here are our balances right now on our funded accounts. So I'll be looking at withdrawing the top 3. Wait till I get to about 10K on the 77 account, and then I'll withdraw the top 3 and then start working the rest of the account so I can pass the threshold, and then, of course, get rid of those accounts, withdraw, and then start again. Because what Apex does is it effectively says to you that you can withdraw all of the amount of money that you've got in your funded account, but you've got to stay within the buffer. All right. So once you surpass the trailing stop or the buffer, which is effectively 5K, then anything above that is your profit. And if you say, for example, you made 10K and you lose 5K, that's no problem. You're just not allowed to go below. For example, one account is $250,000. If you go and make profit of 10K, the boundary is set at $250,000, 100. You go into that 100, you lose the account. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to withdraw from these accounts when the window opens, and I'm effectively going to take all of the sums and then go and take on another challenge past that and rinse and repeat, basically, because I've done the business on the account. Because there's a continuous turnover of passing challenges, I just take from one account, start, load upon another, and I've got this working progress of accounts. And that's how I play the funded accounts when it comes to trading unfunded platforms, mainly Apex, because Apex have got a lot of flexibility, but their trailing stop is very difficult, especially when you're using size. You can get shaken out in an instance, okay? So that's where we are with that, but we'll see how tomorrow fares with the actual unemployment claims data, which will then dictate what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, which means if we go into the data tomorrow, we've got core PPI, and retail sales and unemployment claims. So it's a data-heavy day tomorrow, which is all before the market opens. And if the unemployment claims, again, come in higher, that's good news for the Fed. The market, in principle, would be wanting to move up from there. That means Bitcoin should continue to move up, okay? Going into the S&P and the NASDAQ, where is it? See, it's choppy. We've got climatic behavior at the highs. People are saying that the market itself is going to correct, but it's not going to last too long. Let's just go over and have a look at NVIDIA. Has it hit our target just yet? Not quite yet, but it's working towards the previous vector candle right there, ladies and gentlemen. So here is an example of how you can use a stock to determine what the general sentiment's going to be like across the board, all right? Tesla, Meta, or the Magnificent Seven, all right? So Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, and what have you, okay? NVIDIA has a huge market cap. Just go and have a look at NVIDIA's market cap right now, okay? Just hear me out with this, because this is going to help you understand how likely or what the day is going to be like. So NVIDIA is trading 52 million shares per day. Its market cap is in the trillions, okay? So 2.27 trillion, all right? That is huge, okay? So if you are looking at this chart right now, would it be safe to assume that NVIDIA is getting ready to come back and recover the vectors on this? Can we now take that same logic on the principle that if NVIDIA is starting to move up, by the logic of leaders and laggards, if the leaders of any industry are trading well for the day, usually the rest of the sector will follow suit. So let's just take crypto. If Bitcoin's doing good, everything else usually does good, okay? If the tech sector's doing good, that means if NVIDIA is killing it on a single day, usually what happens is money is going to follow into the same sort of stock. So let's just put 2 and 2 together. Let's assume that now, from now going into tomorrow, when the market opens, that Nvidia's going to start coming up and recovering this wick, or should I say this vector candle. Can we then assume that tomorrow is going to be another update for the New York Stock Exchange? Just by that logic. Assuming that the data comes in favorable and the retail sales does come out and it shows that everything's okay, the economy is doing fine, because tomorrow's data is all about the economy, all right? And remember, the Fed is reluctant to cut the interest rates at the fear of increasing the chances of inflation going higher, but then it doesn't want to keep interest rates too high because the banks are knocking on Jerome Powell's door saying, come on, man, it's too high for too long. Like, we're not going to be able to make money on our financial products. Like, come on, okay? So hopefully retail sales do come in higher, which would then suggest that, yeah, money's moving, the economy's fine, but that could encourage inflation. Why? Oil is still going up. And when oil starts to make a move, ladies and gentlemen, the second oil breaks this 81 range, we are going to be coming away from a very, very interesting consolidation. If you look on the daily time frame, look, they can break into that range, ladies and gentlemen. Oil's going to be flying again. And when oil goes up, the stock market goes down. Okay? And when oil continues to go higher, it means investors are seeking the safety of commodities, because whether the economy is good or bad, whether it's going to the pan, whether we got job claims going crazy, or we've got a war in the United States, oil will still be moving, because we need oil. That's why defense-based stocks will always do well during recessions. Hospitals, biomedicine stocks, or the healthcare stocks, they always do well, because regardless of the economy, they still have to trade. They still have to do everyday business. All right, cool. Are we good with that, ladies and gentlemen? Are we good with that? What's going on here? Bitcoin can experience a correction. It requires it severely to be able to crash. 75. Is it about to dump Solana to the moon? 75K is a significant psychological level, but the Bitcoin 1.618 is around 100K. Interesting. How far and when would healthy for Bitcoin to retrace? Look, guys, listen, when it comes to Bitcoin retracing, you guys can't be focusing on Bitcoin retracing right now. All right, let me ask you all a question. Let me give you an analogy, right? I've got to be careful with this one. You go to your cooker, okay? You know that the cooker is hot. You can see the gas is coming out, all right? Depending on the cooker that you have, right? You can see it's burning. This is your hand. You can go and test the heat by touching it, all right? What would that end up being? It would effectively mean you burn yourself. So what do you have to do once you've burnt yourself? You have to then cater to your wound. You might have some skin peeling off. You're going to get yourself some disinfectant. You're going to leave it under water. I personally put coconut oil on it. But anyway, some of you might think that's crazy because it's oil, it will burn. Anyways, I'm that village guy, But there's a cause and an effect, all right? Same thing with Bitcoin. Why are we looking for retraces now? Have we got a reason to believe that a retrace is coming? What you're doing is this. This is Bitcoin's price right now. Should we get a retrace? Can we get a retrace in Bitcoin? Well, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at the unknown. You're trading the unknown. Okay, you're looking at this thinking, hold on a sec. Well, is there going to be a retrace on Bitcoin? I don't know, man. Well, what's it doing now? Well, right now, Bitcoin's moving up. Okay, cool. But I'm focusing on this. And this is the problem that we have with trading. We are always going to be trading the unknown, but the only way that we can improve the odds of a trade working in our favor is principally, okay, highlighting things that we know in the past that do work, okay? That's why everyone bangs on about the higher time frames. Zoom out. Yeah, okay. It's easy to zoom out. But you can see the momentum is favoring higher prices. Look at your asset first. For every sharp retrace down, and then it comes back up again, that just proves to you that the asset that you're trading is volatile and that they're gunning for the liquidity. Sweep lower, pick up the bids, and make the reversal to the upside, right? Excuse me. There's no reason to wait for Bitcoin to retrace unless it starts retracing. Now, if you want to play the hero and be like, Bitcoin's going to drop from here, baby. Yeah. Run those shorts, man. Yeah, screw the bulls. You bulls ain't got nothing. Yeah, that's it now. All right, cool. You're going to keep on paying. As long as you've got pockets deeper than the market maker, you can start running your shorts if your pockets are deep and you use risk management correctly. You don't necessarily have to have deep pockets to build shorts on Bitcoin, because what you are effectively waiting for, if this rally is going to sustain itself, are these sharp reversals. But it's about catching them, okay? Seems like Bitcoin, every time it consolidates, it does a nice little pump to the upside, rolls over, comes back down, and then resets and does the same thing again. We've got ourselves another little pump right here. It's come back down. Now we're waiting for the next impact, the next move higher. So we're looking for the next wave of selling to come into play, okay? Then as Bitcoin starts climbing up towards key areas, for example, the 75, we can then associate another sweep to the downside. So hypothetically, Bitcoin comes down and then shoots up, and then it shoots back down again, back into the range. Funnily enough, it's done it here. It did it here. It's done it here. It's done it here, okay? Just look at it. Look at the difference between this whole range right here. Just look at this. This whole range. Right? Now look at this. Some of you might think it's doing exactly the same thing. No, it's not. It's more aggressive as price goes into discovery each time. Okay? The more it sustains this, the more I'm going to believe that they're going to keep going higher, but it may be short-lived. So we could top out at the 80 point because there's only so many times that it can get swept down and come back up. What we need to see happening from this point is this. This nice, smooth ride. Okay? This is very choppy because everyone's now rushing into it. So as long as we get Bitcoin nice and steady, wins the race, nice flavor, upside, down, up, down, progressive, none of this wild sweep down, come back up again, okay? That just goes to show that they're just gunning for the liquidation points for the retail traders. Next bouts of liquidity is above the 73,700 zone. That's the truth, okay? You're looking for a calm move. Now, you'll always see the calm move on the daily time frame. Look at it. Much easier. Trade the pattern. Rise, retrace. My days. Rise, retrace, continuation out. Cool. What are you waiting for next? Consolidation. What is consolidation? Well, consolidation could be 2 days. Consolidation could be 4 days. Consolidation could be 2 hours. Consolidation could be 10 minutes. As long as they stay above the 5 and 13 EMA on the daily time frame, all of my holders are good. Okay? I've been giving you effectively heads up to be doing DCAs in these ranges. I'm going to keep on referring to this chart every single time I go live. And you will then start to understand how to utilize the 5 and 13 EMA. But more importantly, forget the logic of trading. It's about the thought process. If you're not given a reason to behave, then you don't need to behave in that way. Do I have a reason to sell Bitcoin right now? No, because I'm not seeing it going down. That means my profits are not being compromised. If my profits are getting compromised, I then start to close off my position and maybe start looking at buying some more on the discount. But don't put yourself in that thought process until it needs to be thought of. And the way you simplify it, you look at the 5 and 13 EMA. If it's not breaking the 5, go to bed. Walk the dog. All right? You're not being given a reason to believe it's going lower. You trying to catch the logic of it going lower, you're going to keep on witness it going up, and you're going to play that battle with yourself and say, right, it's going to go up a little bit more. I'll give it a little bit of time. And it goes up a bit. And it goes up a bit. In the end, from 73,000, Bitcoin's gone all the way to 84,000. You're there scratching your balls thinking, hold on a second, bro. It's at 84 now. Should I open the short? Maybe. And then when it comes to you opening the short, it continues. How rough is that? All you needed to do and say was, am I having a reason to believe it's going to go higher? Well, let me just split it up. Reasons for it to go down. Reasons for it to go up. Okay. 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 Oh, okay. All right. We can kick with that. Happy days. Anything else? Website traffic. Where we at? Web traffic. They're talking about it. Yep. Happy days. Look, Google search volume is going up. Okay. All right. Cool. Now I know market maker can sweep price and hit it to the lows. I can absorb that. All right. If I'm not given the reason to sell, then I'm only looking for a reason to buy. Now, it might sound crazy buying at these points, but it all depends on your process, on where you are in your portfolio, okay? That doesn't mean you go and put the house down right now and hope that Bitcoin's going to go to 84,000 because I've given you this analogy for it. But it's the thought process. If you're not seeing something happening, it means they're doing something else. If they're preparing price and keeping it within a tight range, it means they're getting ready to do something. And if the bigger picture is suggesting Bitcoin's going higher with the inflows of this ETF, because they have to buy the Bitcoin to put it into the ETF, you can only assume it can continue higher. Oh, he's gone bullish again. Jesus. Can't be bullish now, can you, Tino? No, we can't be bullish. You can't tell people to pay themselves as well. That's just silly. You can't do that. Rec. What's REC, bro? Danny, what is REC? Is that the ticker? REQ. Is that a ticker? Let's just check that out. What's going on over here? REQ. Request, yeah? I'm guessing. Here we go. Okay, look, this is perfect. This is perfect, right? Can you see how sweep down, sweep down, sweep down, sweep down? What does the sweep tell you? It tells you they're stacking inside this range. Sweep up, close off, come down. Sweep up, close off, come down. Sweep up, close off, come down. All right? Load up, sweep down. That's consistent, excuse me. That's consistent with accumulation, especially at these significant lows at 15 cents. All right. So you're probably going to be seeing this. I mean, this is too much for me as an altcoin, but you're going to probably see this happening consistently. 22 cents could be on the cards for this once the altcoin season market comes into play. All right. Cool. What else we got? Tino, did you jump on the meme bandwagon? And if you did, what? Pepe, Sheeb back then. What else? I'm looking into these AI projects, but I would only be scalping them. I'd go in, buy a couple of $1,000s of an altcoin or a meme coin, just check out some wallets that could be showing activity on the blockchain. Are they buying it? How much of it are they buying? Who's actually holding the biggest percentage? Why has that wallet bought it? Why is he now in this chain when he was previously buying other meme coins? What's caught his attention? And I'm going to be following the behaviors of wallets per se and just go and scalp meme coins. You know, I'm not waiting for the meme coin to do 15,000%. If I can get a meme coin that does 300-400% for me, I'm done with it. Out. See you later. Scalp. I like consistent returns. I'm not about holding and then hoping and then it goes and then I see it's gone and then I'm like, wow. And then I'm like, oh no. Meme coins, man. You know, it makes my whoop go crazy. But that's it. Here we go. Here we go. What else we got? Here we go. I'm new, but can I ask, could you approximate some levels when it could be good to cash out at some 5-10%? All right, then. If you are new to the channel, guys, just please give me a hey ya or just type new in the chat so I know that you guys are new, because I really want to answer this question for anybody that is new. And once you have typed that you are new, tell me how many of you as holders are holding Bitcoin that is currently in profit. Just say yes, that you've got Bitcoin in profit. Not so leverage traders and holders. That's what I want. So new and yes, that's what I want. All right. So if you are new, type new. And if you are in profit with Bitcoin, you're a leverage trader with the position open, and you are a holder, and you want to know whether you should take profits or load up, type in yes. Okay, so here we go. Phil, why would you put not new? Oh, man, that's funny. Okay. All right, and so we're seeing quite a bit of people here. Okay, nude. All right, that explains the pattern watchers. Everyone with their crude minds. All right, new. SMR, give me 5 minutes for that, my friend. I'll check it out for you, okay? All right, then. So we're seeing lots of yeses and lots of news. Well, you know what the flavor is. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you're going to enjoy what I'm about to say to you, or you have already enjoyed what I've been talking about. And make sure you hit the ding-a-ling, the bell. Make sure you hit the bell and... I quit, man. Why did I sell? Why did I just say that? Funny guy. I make myself laugh with the shit that comes out of my mouth. Well, anyways, like, subscribe, and all that flavor. Anyways, all right. So let's now answer this. To the new guys, this is the hybrid system. My name is Tino. Okay. If you don't have this indicator is not per se a indicator that tells you go long or go short or buy now. Not like the logarithmic chart that we all call the rainbow of Bitcoin. Man, screw that. You think, listen, you think Grayscale with $41 billion is going to be relying on that chart, even though mathematically it is sort of sound, but they've just added a bit of a rainbow with a classification for fire sale or, you know, discount, what have you. But, you know, Twitter X is exploiting that to its best degree. All right. Make your way over, if you are new, to the Traders Reality website, okay? Because there is a free course on there that explains this whole system for you from start to finish. It's 1 hour long. You've been sat here for 43 minutes with me, so you may as well get some time over the weekend to go and watch that course. It breaks down all of the logic that I'm going to run through right now and answer the next question, which I asked if anyone as a leverage trader is in a long with profits in Bitcoin and as a holder, what to do next, okay? So go and take that course. That's where it is right there. You have to become a bronze member. And of course, once you're done with that, then you can then attend the live streams. You can then, if you want to, become a platinum member where you get 20% discount off the platinum membership, where you get masterclass sessions and the community in the Discord with the aggressive Dino bot that's always shouting at people to not post memes, but we keep it a nice clean chat in there. But the code is BullRun. That's pinned to the top of the chat and in the description of this live stream. Okay? So, but do this course. It's free and it gives you everything you need. Now, let's go and answer the question for the new guys and for the leverage traders and for the holders. Firstly, if you're all in good profits right now, okay, this is how I would be breaking it down for the leverage trader. I'm making the assumption that you guys have gone long on Bitcoin from the start of the week. I might be wrong. Someone might be long on Bitcoin from 70. Someone might be long from Bitcoin at 72, okay? I don't know how long you plan on holding your trade for, but just for the nature of demonstration, let's assume that you are now long from 68,000. If we are all around that same page, type 1, okay? Type 1 if we are around that price point for the leverage traders, okay? For the holders, it doesn't matter because I assume that the holders are either at a break even because they were buying at the highs or they've been doing DCA for quite some time. Now they want to start considering taking some profits. How much of those profits could they be taking? At what points should they be taking them from, okay? So let me just see where you guys are at right now. Dude, Rollbit is giving me 1,000, 1,500 leverage. How can I make full use of it, bro? Well, how quick do you want to lose your money? That's the truth. I've gone on Rollbit, I've tried it out myself, and I've never lost $100 so fast in my life. Only because I was trying to work out what the leverage level was like, putting $100 at max leverage. Wow. Wow. Do not trade Ethereum on that platform. Never do it. You'll get swiped. Honestly. But if you're really smart with it, you can use small amounts of capital, like $2 at full leverage, and just grab liquidity moves. Pumps, pumps, pumps. And just keep transacting, keep transacting, keep transacting. But that's a madman's game. But anyways, okay. So ones, okay. Not so many ones. We've got the ones coming into play. One from 26 cents. Fair play to you, bro. Long from 16. That's good. 69, 67. Okay then. All right. 69, 67. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, people in chat are funny. Chat. This chat is... This chat's special. I like it. 15K, long. Okay, 18, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, then. Cool. So many future bag holders. Okay. Fees will eat you up doing. That's correct. Okay, then. Cool. Long from $25. Fair enough. Long from 25 cents. Even better. Wonderful. All right, then. So, this is how I would structure the logic of when to react to your profit. Say you've gone long from this range here, okay? So you're long from this price point, okay? Leverage traders, if you are using high leverage, of course, you probably would have had price go back into your entry point. You may have been liquidated if you were adding on the way up, okay? But as leverage traders, you want to make sure that you are allowing freedom for this, okay? So what does that mean? What I like to do, if I've gone long from this area here, okay, and I see a high has been made, right? Let's take the existing high for Bitcoin. Happy days. So Bitcoin has bounced 8% from this entry point over here, all right? Now, what I would be thinking is I want to load up more of a position as a leverage trader, okay? I need Bitcoin, in principle, to move away from this point. So if I've got, for example, 50x inside of this area and I've experienced this move down and now price is all the way up here, okay? I ideally want to add to the move once I've seen price clear away from this zone and test it, okay? So that means I need to see price breaking away from this range. For God's sake, man. I need to see price breaking away from this point as high as it physically can, come back down, and this is where I monitor it. I monitor it when it's trailing around this range right here. Okay? Now, if it can sustain this point, that logically tells me that the moving averages would have had some curvature to move up towards this point, okay? The idea of them potentially pulling this flavor on me can happen higher, which is further away from my position, but I don't want to add until I've seen a test of this range for then price to start working its way up. This is where I start to add when it starts to climb away from this range that it's tested. That's where you are adding, okay? Because the logic says that if it does continue to go higher and that we do sustain Bitcoin and it does go up to 80,000, the principle says that if they're going to continue to go to 100K, which the logical point would be it to go to 100K because Bitcoin would be getting so much press and BlackRock will be picking up loads and loads and loads of this Bitcoin ETF, we are effectively going into a climatic move with Bitcoin. We're not there with the climatic move. We've just had all-time high. That's it. We're not there with the climatic move. Now, remember, guys, this is on the premise that Bitcoin sustains itself above the 5 and 13 EMA for the daily time frame. It can all change. You need it to sustain its area here. And this is where you load up, because then if Bitcoin does decide to pull this flavor and sweep lower, it's doing it pretty much inside of this area here, okay, which is further away from your entry point. And you then may need to be obliged to add a little bit of margin, okay? So that's for the leverage traders, okay? Ideally, leverage traders who are still holding the position, drop onto the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to get to the holders now. Drop onto the 4-hour time frame and please draw this off on your charts, okay? You need to be marking off the green vector candle right here, all right? You need to have an understanding of this area right here. And if you do go into smaller time frames on the hour time frame, you want to be monitoring these two vectors, the blue vector and the green vector. This is your price point, okay? Because as a leverage trader, okay, the worst thing that can happen to you is you see this attack to the downside. We do have this wick right here that is a bit of an issue for me. I don't like it, all right? So I'm now putting in my mind what could happen in the future. I might not want to load up Bitcoin just yet, okay? With that being said, what about the holders? What have they got to work with? Well, a holder's going to be in a position for a little bit longer. They're going to be able to absorb a bit more of a drawdown. What is going on the NASDAQ? Wow, they just took a nice little drop there. That's crazy. Anyways, new market. Go to the daily. Holders. This is your point of interest. This is your area where if Bitcoin were to correct back down, this is where I would be considering loading up, but it may be short-lived. Why? Hypothetically, if Bitcoin were to come down, this only if it breaks the 5 and the 13 EMA. If it comes down into this area, Bitcoin will make another attempt towards the all-time high, okay, where it could falter. So you've got to take that into consideration. That means by the logic of 20, 40, you load up on the 40 inside of this area and then close it off as it's trying to make its way back up towards that all-time high. Because if Bitcoin were to do this, it would then create a huge M formation and then come back down to recover these vector candles and pretty much create the new 20K zone, which hypothetically would be the 52 or the 50,000 point, okay? But right now, as holders, to start taking profits, you want to be going over to the 8-hour time frame. Roll over to the 8-hour chart if you are of the nature of that trading logic. And you now want to be focusing on these 2 points. Take the green vector candle range from here, okay? And pay close attention to the red, to these 2 violet vector candles, which are principally stopping volume candles, which means that there was an influx of volume coming in at this specific point in time where the market was able to grab a huge amount of bids, and those bids that loaded up on Bitcoin are now in a program to offer out and sell to make a return. So there could be sustained movement even higher for Bitcoin from this point on an 8-hour time frame, should I say, okay? But if you're going to be taking profits, only start taking profits if Bitcoin does come back into areas like these vectors. So you could say to yourself right now, I'm going to take profits anyway. So you take profits from this point. Or you've been in a long in Bitcoin for quite some time and you now want to start taking some profits. That means you've been long in Bitcoin from 15K and now you're at 73,000. If it goes down to 68,000, don't go and beat the hell out of your dog, okay? You don't need to do that. That is not a problem. Bitcoin can go up and down 5K. There's no qualms with that. That's happy days with Bitcoin, okay? But when you start seeing Bitcoin, and this applies to the leverage traders as well, all right? You just have to react sooner and it can be over pretty quick as well. If Bitcoin starts to come back down towards any of these cluster vector zones, these areas right here, this is where the logic is if they do mean business about marking price from that point. So if price were to come back down towards these violet vector candles, it would then trigger the logic of the bids. If they do not get engaged at the bid side on this candlestick, then Bitcoin is going to come back down and test the next zone, which is this area right here with the red vector candles, as you can see, okay? Because the idea is they came down and they rejected that point. Well, they picked up the bids and then they reversed price to continue higher. If price were to come back down towards that point again, at minimum, you'd want to take the midpoint of this vector candle and say that if it comes back down, I'd be loading up in this area or I'd be taking profits at this area, okay? And then preparing myself to potentially load up again on the idea that the bids that came into action in this area to buy Bitcoin as it was cheaper are going to step in at this point to effectively start bidding Bitcoin again to mark up higher. To take all of what I've said and draw a picture for you, you're looking for this. Could have just done that. Then you would have been like, what do you mean? Logic says now you should technically know what I mean. So holders, unless Bitcoin comes back into these areas, right, where they originally had moved price higher from, and they're not showing that same behavior, that's when you start engaging in the idea that you could be getting Bitcoin on a cheap now, take some of those profits, load up on it, okay? Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? SMR with Market Smith. Let me just quickly do this for the gentleman, okay? Any questions, guys? Oops. SMR. Oh, wow. Wow. What's going on with this, bro? Not bad. Designs and develops small nuclear modular reactor technology. Earnings per share is due in 1 day's time. Oh, wow. Not that young. It's not that old either. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on this bad boy. Look at that. We've got big commitment coming in, man. Big commitment. Very big commitment. 2 million shares. That is awesome. That is very awesome. Nice. I'll be checking that bad boy out. Okay, then. Okay. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think about the miners? Well, what do I think about the miners? The miners are going to get their new upgrade very soon. Okay, not upgrade, sorry. The halving's coming into play, so they're going to be earning less for their efforts. It's just part and parcel with Bitcoin. I've gone deaf. It's part and parcel with the nature of Bitcoin. That's why they're selling right now, because they need to create operating costs. They need to sustain the operating costs, okay? Let me just go and have a look at the stablecoin ratio a second to justify us Bitcoin going higher. Nope. Here it is. Which one is it? There we are. It's starting to come up now. So, but we do need to see an update on that. We hope that Bitcoin continues higher this evening. Let me just go and have a look at Coinbase Premium Index. Here we go. As long as this is it going up? Oof. Okay then. All right then. So, that was on March the 11th. We're now on the 13th. So we just need to make sure we get the days right with that. Okay, so we're still waiting for that to come into play. This Coinbase Premium says the high premium values could indicate US investors' strong buying pressure in Coinbase. It looks like that's starting to come down now, and we take the logic of the miners, okay? The miners that have sold, okay, at an extreme, all right? So we could see a little bit more movement in Bitcoin to the upside, all right? Going into tomorrow's market, tomorrow's news will dictate if Bitcoin is going to go even higher, all right? So take the logic that I've just presented to you all about leverage trading and the holders, okay? By tomorrow, 12:30 UK time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard, you'll kind of know exactly where you stand with Bitcoin, if it's going to keep on marking up. In other words, do you have to have anything to worry about Bitcoin behaving inside of this area for the holders? And then for the leverage traders, get ready to see some movement, some more scalability in terms of Bitcoin's price moving higher towards the next significant zone, only because you've got short liquidations up there. Okay? I hope that makes sense, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, again, 20% off the Platinum membership to get trades set up similar to the ones we showed you earlier on. Never mind. The discount code is BULLRUN, and that's on until the end of March. Nasdaq's doing some numbers here, ladies and gentlemen. We are probably going to have some movement tonight, guys. Yeah, we're probably going to have some movement tonight, and my screen has froze. Yeah, there's probably going to be movement tonight. Nasdaq is just doing some wonderful numbers right now. Okay, so yeah, just take that into consideration. Again, guys, mad love and respect. Make sure you like, subscribe on the way out, and hit the bell, because we'll be tuning in again tomorrow for Thursday midweek reversal. Take care, gang. Peace.